Welcome to the Wrestling Still Cool podcast. My name is Cam. That's Mark.
Hey, y'all. Appreciate you joining in.
All right, and you can follow us on Twitter at WrestlingSCool. Then go ahead and hit him with the rest.
For Instagram, it's at Wrestling Still Cool. TikTok, it's at Wrestling Still Cool 90. Yeah, Facebook, Wrestling Still Cool. You get us on email at wrestlingstillcool@gmail.com.
Yeah. And kind of heading into wrestling, wrestling. Wow, WrestleMania week this week. But when's WrestleMania going on? Do you remember?
It's Saturday, April 10th and Sunday, April 11th. And live at the Ray J in Tampa, Florida.
Now, okay, serious question. Do you think both nights are going to be like 3 hours?
I'm sure they will. I mean, last year it was, so I figured hopefully they're going to stick with it. I think the 3 hours per night works fine. Some people may think it drags out for 2 nights, but I think it works just fine.
Well, it's just the idea that if they combine it in one night, you're looking at like 7 hours of wrestling, which is, look, man, we're fans and all, but that's overkill.
It's a lot. I mean, if they didn't have as much, without, they obviously do things, that's not always wrestling, they celebrities and whatnot. I think they just have the wrestling matches and a few promos, they would be fine. But it's a spectacle, and you won't put on the best show possible. You look at the Super Bowl. I mean, a few hours long. They had their concert and all that stuff. But WrestleMania is the Super Bowl, so do I think 7 hours or whatever, 6 hours is a little long? Yeah, but so if you put out two nights, it don't make it look like a long night. But yeah, I mean, 4 hours would be sufficient enough.
Yeah, I'm actually. So I happen to just out of curiosity went to go see how much the prices are per ticket, and it's insane.
I'm not surprised.
Like you know what Ray J looks like, right?
Yeah, obviously I do. I grew up in that area.
So you know how you have the lower section that's kind of near where the players are and the coaches are on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those tickets are like $1,000+.
Oh yeah. While I went to WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, I think that was at the Citrus Bowl. I believe that's what's called. Went there and WrestleMania 24. We had nosebleeds to see, and we were like the nosebleeds near this, closer to the stage area. And anyways, I think they cost us. I just rounded off to the nearest 10. They were it was like $100. That's what I was told, at least. My friend bought. It came out to where my friend actually bought the tickets for my brother and I, and we probably paid him back. It's like, hey, it's $100. So I think like probably 90 with tax and all, but it's like, let's say $100, and that was back then. So I mean, it has nosebleeds, but I don't know what nosebleeds are now. But that's they had. What I understand, WrestleMania 24, they spent more than they really should have, for as far as the company did for put it on the event. They had to do the whole big old makeover for the event because that stadium was bad shape and old. But yeah, the price do change, of course, and yeah, that's what I was.
It's insane, though. Can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine like shelling out thousands of dollars for the tickets to go there?
It is crazy.
And I 100% agree. It's a spectacle. It's a once in a lifetime event in a lot of ways.
Oh, it is.
But man, I cannot see being like, yeah, here's my mortgage payment for this show.
I mean, I wouldn't even buy tickets to Super Bowl or even national title game, bro. I mean, I know national title probably different price, but even then, it's still. Bro, I don't know. I never looked up prices on some of that stuff.
National title? What's national title? What sport is that?
NCAA.
Okay. When I think of like NCAA, I think of like the Sugar Bowl, the Outback Bowl, things like that.
Well, that stuff too is expensive. I mean, national title is like equivalent to like a Super Bowl, basically.
Right, but aren't all the bowl games basically the same thing? But just one gets determined as like the end all be all for college sports or college football.
If you want to say it that way, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much national title. Everybody wants to go. Sorry about that. Might want to edit that. Hang on. With a flash flood warning. Hang on. Oh, there we go. They got it off.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in, but I'm curious. What was that?
Oh, it's a flood warning for my area.
Oh, flood warning. Okay, I didn't know if it was like a tornado warning or anything like that.
No, I haven't had. Usually, it's unfortunately we get the unfortunately we get the Amber Alerts. That's the unfortunate. We have tornado warnings and flood warnings. We've had a lot of rain recently. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of rain, and Nashville's what rough too. I don't understand. So love the life of East Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I was going to say is like I attend baseball games. I prefer to go to baseball games once a year. Haven't done that since. I've done that a couple of years, unfortunately. But it's one of those where baseball tickets, especially considering the team is not great here, usually only run about $30-$40. Which actually they're moving stadiums. Last I read.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're done with Tropicana.
They've been talking about that for a long time, though, years and years. But I know their contract doesn't come up till like 2020.
Yeah, but I want to say that they were let out of it for recently. I want to say, I think that they came to agreement, but I could be wrong. But one thing I disagree with, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it needs to go to Tampa." No, there should be at least one team that's outside of Tampa.
I've been saying that for years myself. The first I've heard about it was back in 2007, I think it was. I was working as a land surveyor at the time, and they were talking about spots that not only the survey, but for the team to move to. And it was like, more I was surveying, the more I saw more land. There was different spots that there's suggestions about, but those talks, I guess, either they kept quiet or they just stopped talking about it. I don't know, but they've been talking about that stuff for many years, and well, there's certain plus sides and downsides to being in that Tropicana field, but they need to keep the team in St. Pete.
Well, to me, okay, St. Pete is not where I'm staunch on. It's more or less just on this side of the bay, away from Tampa.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, where else are you gonna really?
Well, I mean, like there could be areas in like Clearwater, or even I'm okay as far as like even going into like Holiday, Newport Richey area, because there is land out there, and there's land in Clearwater. The Clearwater that's closer to St. Pete, the one that's kind of near Tampa, St. Pete Clearwater Airport. There's some land out there. Even that would have been perfect spot. I do think downtown St. Pete's a problem for them, especially if they want to keep getting people to come to the games, because downtown St. Pete's a bitch to get to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that. I think they want to keep it closer though to at least the interstate and everything for the people in Tampa though. Closer. Yeah. But
I mean, there's areas that like the area that comes to mind. That's kind of near the St. Pete Clearwater Airport. That's right off the interstate, and you still have the St. Pete Clearwater Airport for teams that have to travel that they can fly into. So that's my thought on it.
One spot that was talked about was next to cross street from the dump there in St. Pete. Is the
one that's in Pinellas County, right by Gandy.
Yeah, right near the gas spot.
No.
That was talked about a long time ago. There was a huge chunk of lands. Like there was things. It was just mentioned. That's all it was. And I went out there. I'm like, it would suck to be next to the dump, but there's a lot of land out here, and it was like that's when they were talking about Tampa. And that's like I'd rather be out here than in Tampa. This different. There was also talking about different part somewhere else in around Gandy area too. But anyways,
I wouldn't want to.
Well, I say it wouldn't be most greatest next to dump. I understand that, but I'm just saying I was just when I was out there, saw the chunk of land. I heard that there's talks about it. I don't know how true or whatnot, but it was talks. But I don't really decide to move to. It's whatever. And, I didn't like it when the Braves moved Cobb County, so it was but they went away from Turner Field. I didn't like that myself, but I haven't been to the ball game for a while. I've been meaning to go to Braves games as I moved up here. Haven't been to one yet, but I've been hearing about the SunTrust Park, and man, I heard it's crazy big and it's insane. It's like its own city inside there.
How far away are you from the Braves?
Well, since I moved, I would just say 3 hours, maybe. I will say about 3 hours. Yeah, I've been had plans to go to ball game forever, and just last year we were close to it, and then it just never happened. Like, it's unfortunate. I've been living in Tennessee for 6 years now, and yeah, first year I was like, okay, I can watch the Braves now, and we'll go to the game. And it's never. Now, I've watched the Braves a bunch on TV, but it's a ball game. This year it's going to change.
If I was to do that, and this is just my laziness with not wanting to drive after a while, I went to a Braves game or any game that was 3 hours away. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to crash in a hotel.
Oh, yeah. That's something that my family and I are talking about too, is just staying there and everything. Last time I've been to a Braves game or Braves home game, let's go with that. Braves home game was in '95, a long time, and it played at San Francisco Giants. I think they won the bottom of the ninth inning, actually. Braves. Mm-hmm. But I went to the Braves games when they were, facing the Rays, and that was cool. So never once did the Braves lose. All right. Anyways, so.
All right, so one of the things that you and I want to talk about was the whole wrestling being called fake.
That damn F word that we all hate.
See, and you have brought it up to people that we've interviewed as well. I honestly, I don't understand the hate that wrestling gets in general. By people that maybe don't watch it. I can understand not being a fan of it because I'm not a fan of reality TV, and I'll throw my own little digs here and there at reality TV, basically, because they call it reality TV, but it's all it is just a scripted TV show with people that are not actors,
Yeah.
But either way, it's not like there's no reason for them to get that hate. I get it.
No,
it's not. It's not a real competition, but it's athleticism. There's injuries. They still are going through things.
It's predetermined, and that's what. And of course, you have some people who don't know how to do the craft as well, or sometimes there's botches. Hey, botches happen. It's just accidents, and we do them at our own jobs. It's a theatrical event that has a sport behind it. Not, of course, a lot of people don't like to use wrestling's not a sport. Well, it is, and I don't mean just the amateur wrestling. Obviously, that's a different type of sport. You have to be athletic to be a wrestler, a pro wrestler, and you got to know how to take bumps. You got to learn how to do that. And you obviously go to a wrestling school. Yes, the matches are predetermined. Yes, spots are a lot of times pre-planned, and where we discuss the match while you're in the ring. But it's there's not really many athletes, hardly any athletes that are in a different sport that can compete as a wrestler and travel. That's the thing about it. People think, they can compete. Like, it's not as easy as it looks, for one. I mean, it looks hard as it is anyways. But more importantly, it's like, okay, you're a wrestler. Do you want to get in the wrestling business? Okay, you're a football player, but can you keep up with traveling? That's the thing about it. And if it travels, I can't do that. I'm not gonna travel the whole time. I'm like, there is no seasons of wrestling. It's a 365-day event a year, whether it's WWE or any other company or CNDs, etc. It's to where it's the travel's hard enough as it is, especially when you take beatings every night, 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, 7 nights a week, especially if you're doing the international tours. And that's where when you have this, it's a show. You're tuning in. Let's say 2-3 hours on if you're watching TV, and it's a show. Yes, there's a script in most cases. Yes, but it's to where